I could still feel her hand sliding past mine, not touching, not caring. Every single time, she pushed me away like I was nothing, like my love, my words, my very soul were jokes she laughed at with her friends. That night, under the dim light of our apartment, she smirked at me and whispered, "You'll never understand me." Those words cut deeper than knives. I stayed. I tried. I loved harder. And she smiled at every rejection, as if my pain was her entertainment. That moment, right there, I realized the first truth. Love isn't always enough. And sometimes, it's dangerous to give it to someone who doesn't even see it. Days became weeks. Weeks became a quiet torture. I reached, she pulled away. I whispered, she laughed. I touched, she recoiled. Every attempt to connect was met with icy laughter, sharp words, subtle mockery. I saw her texting others, watching her laugh at memes, while I sat there, invisible, ignored, unheard. And then, the thought came, the one I had been avoiding for months. Maybe she doesn't love me. Maybe she never did. That thought lingered, a poison I couldn't shake. And I knew, deep inside, something had to change, or I'd break completely. So I did the unthinkable. I stopped. Coldly. Completely. No calls. No messages. No presence. I ghosted her without warning. It was silence, sharp and cutting, louder than any scream I could have shouted. And I waited. I waited to see her reaction, knowing she would never expect this. And she didn't. At first, she laughed. She laughed at the idea that I could leave her world without knocking, without begging. But days passed, and the laughter vanished. It was replaced with whispers of panic, quick glances, empty gestures. She was searching, but she couldn't find me. Then came the storm. A call in the middle of the night. Her voice trembling, nearly breaking. Why aren't you answering? Where are you? I stayed silent. I let her words hang in the air, meaningless and hollow. She realized finally that I was gone, not just physically, but from her mind, from her control, from her little world she thought she commanded. And that realization hit her harder than anything I could have done physically. For the first time, she understood fear. For the first time, she understood loss. And in that fear, her mask cracked. She arrived at my apartment one rainy night, soaked to the bone, trembling, eyes wild with desperation. Every step she took, every word she spat out, was a jagged dagger of panic. Please. I didn't mean it. I was joking. Come back, she cried. I watched. I watched her fall apart. Every gesture she had mocked me for, every piece of my love she ignored, came crashing down on her now. I didn't speak. I didn't move. Because there is power in silence. Power in walking away. And she was learning it the hard way. Days stretched into weeks. She tried everything. Calls, texts, friends dragging her to my door. Nothing worked. I had disappeared from her life, from her control, from her mind. She realized, painfully, that the one person she had rejected, the one soul she had mocked, was now untouchable. And every desperate attempt she made only reminded her of what she had lost, me. And there was no return. The love she laughed at, the devotion she ignored, was gone. Forever. I moved on quietly. I built a life where people saw me, valued me, and loved me for what I was. Yet somewhere, I knew she remembered. She remembered the hand she pushed away, the soft words she rejected, the love she thought she could mock without consequence. Somewhere, in her nights of silence, she felt my absence. And somewhere, she realized that some things, once gone, could never be reclaimed. She had rejected every single touch. She had laughed at my love. She had ignored me for months. And when I vanished completely, she lost it all. Control, pride, stability, and finally, me. And the cruelest truth of all? She knew it, but she had no one to blame but herself. The one person she had taken for granted had become her ghost. And in that ghost, she saw the reflection of everything she destroyed.